generalist phase. Gradually, application reaches a stage where it needs specialists. That means, let's say application was having 10,000 downloads a day, mobile application, now they have 1 million downloads. So whenever you have a 1 million downloads, there is a lot of areas which has to be specialized. Like how do you handle the login of 1 million user? Let's say I am a front-end developer. You ask me how do I handle 1 million user login? 1 million user login here. I mean, let's say I enter XYZ and password 1234. I'm gonna validate how I'm gonna validate this combination across 1 million data. Hello all, welcome back to Uncommon Geeks. Myself Vasant. I hope you all doing well. In case if you see me for the first time on the internet, I'm a content creator. I help people to clear their interview. I've made a lot of beautiful series in the past which has been appreciated by many. And in the recent past, I'm getting a lot of love. I'm getting a lot of subscribers over a daily time and a lot of likes for each of the video. And many people are commenting. Thank you so much for whatever the love that you're showering on me. Please continue to do the same. Um, and now coming to the content of the video, this is quite controversial topic. I have made a lot of research before picking up this topic because a lot of people who are watching this video might not be agreeing with the facts that I would say. So I am trying to put my honest opinion all across the video. So who all should be watching this video? If you are a senior full stack developer who have around 9 to 10 years of experience, because this is a high time for you to introspect yourself. And if you are 4 to 5 years, so mid-range full stack developer, this is a high time so that you reconsider whatever the career option that you have chosen. If you are a fresher, or if you are someone who is pursuing the full stack development code somewhere, it is highly advisable to watch the video till the end because you might be making a mistake of picking a career as a full stack developer. So I'm going to discuss all the points very much in depth throughout the video. So please watch the video till the end. Without wasting further time, let's get started. See, let's answer the very first basic question. What is full stack development? Okay. So if you are someone who has absolutely no idea what is full stack development, here is the definition. Yeah. I hope you have read the definition of full stack development. In very simple words, actual full stack development definition has few different combinations. Here I'm sticking to the most basic terms of full stack development. That's a person who has a very good understanding of the front end, that is the web development or a mobile application development, and also the back end. The one person who makes sure he writes the APIs, he configures the server, and he makes sure the server is always up and running even during the heavy traffic, all of this. So a person who has a combination of both front end and the back end knowledge is considered to be full stack developer. Some has additional things like DevOps, some also additional things like QA. So I'm not gonna make it that kind of a full stack. I'm just sticking to the most common definition for full stack, which is a combination of front end and the back end. Okay. Now let us understand the reasons why I am thinking, or a lot of people across the industry are thinking that full stack development is slowly coming to an end. See, most of my viewers know I am not a full stack developer. I have a very good knowledge of front end, both web and mobile application. I can also create a lot of APIs in different languages like Node.js or Java, but I don't call myself a full stack developer. Okay, for me, full stack development, knowing full stack development has much more importance than just able to create a basic UI and creating some basic APIs. Okay, so before making this video, I checked a lot on the web, and I also tried to not interview. In fact, at least I tried messaging a lot of my ex-colleagues and the people who I know on LinkedIn and asked their feedback. So I'm going to summarize all of those points in this video. Let's start with the first reason why full stack development might come to an end very soon. Yeah. So the first reason is the typical full stack developer story. Let us understand. This is with my experience of working with different people, working with different full stack developers, and also talking to a lot of full stack developer. How most of the full stack developer, at least in India, are formed are they are all situational full stack developers. So what do I mean by situational full stack developers? See, let's say I wanted to learn a mobile application development because I have a lot of interest in that, and I see a future prospects in that. So I decided to learn full stack mobile application development via some online course and YouTube curriculum, etc. And then after making, I made some very good projects, maybe different clones of apps like Flipkart, Myntra, etc. Now I feel very confident about the tech. Then I start preparing for the interview, and then I apply. So let's say this takes in a period of 4 to 6 months, and I changed my stack from one to another, or I learned the new stack. But this is a typical developer, whoever wants to switch the job, right? They would generally do this. But what has happened with most full stack developers is they are all situational full stack developers. That means, let's say they're working on a project and they are either master on backend or on the front end, but there is a need for them to learn the other stack. Maybe because some developer has left at the last moment, or from the beginning itself they have a very less manpower and they have to accomplish more. So some learn basics of another tech by watching certain videos, etc. For example, there is a backend developer who is very good at backend technology who want to implement certain web applications. So he go through some basic React JS course or Angular course and he understand the basics. And with the help of some web and the Stack Overflow, he tries to build a UI, etc. Okay, so this is good. There is nothing wrong in doing this way. But problem is most full stack developers, even whoever out there, have a priority whether to work on a backend or to work on the front end because they have master one and they have a manageable skill on the another. Okay, so even after becoming a situational full stack developer, very few will make an effort to learn the another stack completely. So this is creating kind of a big problem, like where people are not investing a lot of time in learning the other tech, and they're becoming a mediocre developers than becoming a full stack developer. So if you think you have become one of such kind, please mention that in comment section. Or if this is not, you think the other ways, please mention that also in the comment section. Okay. Now let us go to the second reason. See, second reason, and one of the very important reason, considering from a full stack developer career point of view, what is the right full stack combination? You tell me. So this video can be watched by a lot of developers across. So I'm asking a question to you. What is the right full stack development combination? So is it Java and React JS? Or is it Java and Angular? Is it Java and just vanilla JavaScript HTML? Or is it Java and Vue.js? Or there are a lot of other popular UI frameworks out there. This also applies. Is it with a C Sharp and all this combination, or Django with all this combination, C++ with all this combination? What is the right full stack combination? Every company has its own full stack development combination, correct? So because depending on the need of the company or whatever, whoever was architect back then, they might have agreed on a particular tech stack, correct? So this is because of this, what is happening, there is a, I have seen my colleagues in previous companies where they have mastery over one particular full stack. For example, Java and React JS, they have a good knowledge on that. Now let's say they want to apply for Google. So Google is not working on React JS, they are working on Angular. So can they learn Angular just to apply for a Google? No. What they are doing, they are at the end of they, whatever the company they are aspiring, if they are not working on the stack, complete full stack, whatever they have learned, they are trying to apply on a one stack where they are confident, like whether Java, just the Java, or just the React or Angular part they are applying. If this is something that you want to do, what is the point of you becoming a full stack developer yourself? Is it not the right time, at least now the high time for you to evaluate? You could rather becoming this mediocre full stack, or just because you're not getting a combination that you are aspiring, you're becoming one stack developer. You could have been one stack developer and mastered over it, correct? Simply you're trying to learn both, not having a proper mastery over either of them, and then whenever you're trying to apply for the company, you're not getting the right company that you want to look for with the right tech stack, correct? So please, this is especially for the mid and the senior level engineers who think they are a full stack developer and struggling to apply for the openings. So this is a high time. Please reevaluate. Are you really getting benefited because of being a full stack developer or not? Okay. Now let's go to the third point. See, the third point, and another very important point is, when the full stack development started. And this is a question for you. If you know, please mention that in comment section. So for the full stack development, nobody can say when full stack development started or discovered, correct? So it is just a term that might have coined. There are different timeline people suggest. Some say it is a 70 to 80s, or some say 2000 is the time when full stack development started. So I kind of sticking to 2000. So if somebody out there searches it on a Google and find a better definition, better timeline, you can add it. But I think whatever I read, people say near 2000, 1990s to 2000 is a time when full stack development came to a little boom. And they were not actual full stack developer that we call today. Okay, they were more like the full stack developers who were a web developers, as the tech was very limited back then. So they were managing even the backend. Okay, that was when the full stack development started. And after that, many specifications came in both front end and back end, and gradually they separated. Full stack front end became a different thing and a back end became a different thing. Again, the full stack development come into a lot of mainframe around 2015 and 16, when lot of the startup culture got a boom all across the world. Lot of startups were started, and they needed someone who is able to architect the product end to end. Okay, not just knowing the front end, not just knowing the back end. So they needed a lot of full stack developers who has the idea on both front end and back end, so that they'll help you to architect a better scalable product. There is nothing wrong. And lot of people, whatever the situational full stack developers I called, they all became in this period. Okay, why they became in this period is they started, the many startups are paying high, people joined the startups, and after learning, they got to know they need to learn the different skills as well. So they learned and they became a full stack developer. Okay, and this trend of hiring the full stack developer continued a bit in premium companies also. In 2018 19, even the premium companies like Google, Facebook, LinkedIn also hired full stack developers. but now but now, if you go and open the career page of any of the premium company that probably want to work, Facebook, Google, Netflix, Amazon, any company. If I could have actually shown, but that itself becomes one video, so I'm not showing. Feel free to go to any of the career sites and just search full stack developer, see the number of opening. Just search separately how many front end and how many back end developers are there by specifying the skills. You yourself will notice there is a significant drop in full stack development openings that used to be posted before and now, at least in the premium companies. Obviously, startups are still hiring good number of full stack developers because they want to get more value from every individual that they are hiring. So if you are someone who really want to work for a startup, okay, you can still continue to be a full stack developer. But if you are aspiring for a premium companies, then it is a high time. Whether you are a mid-range engineer or a senior engineer or just started career with 1 or 2 years, this is a high time you reevaluate. If you want to work at a premium company one day, then full stack development is not for you. Okay, at least now you yourself evaluate. Whatever references may not be right, but you yourself can evaluate by going and checking career pages of these different companies and then draw a conclusion. Okay, now let's go to the next point. See, industry gradually goes at a stage where it needs specialist and not a generalist. Okay, what do I mean by this? So let's say you are starting an application. You are a startup company. You started an application. So whenever you started that way, you need more generalist than the specialist. What do I mean by generalist? Somebody who knows back end, front end. Even if they do deliver the products from whatever they're manufacturing, or even if they themselves do QA, all these things can be done whenever a company is at the early stage. Similarly, same thing applies to the even for the premium companies when the product is in the early state. Okay, because they might have got less funding and the work has been just begun. Correct. So where there's somebody, same person wears multiple hats. Correct. So this generalist phase. Gradually, application reaches a stage where it needs specialists. That means, let's say application was having 10,000 downloads a day, mobile application, now they have 1 million downloads. So whenever you have a 1 million downloads, there is a lot of areas which has to be specialized. Like how do you handle the login of 1 million user? Let's say I am a front-end developer. You ask me, how do I handle 1 million user login? 1 million user login here, I mean, let's say I enter XYZ and password 1234. I'm going to validate, how I'm going to validate this combination across 1 million database. Correct. I cannot do a linear search because 1 million linear search is very big complexity. So there has to be some optimal algorithm. Definitely I'll be able to write. I search it on online and I get the solution and I'll write. But it needs an expertise. Similar applies to the even the front end. Let's say we want to implement a very beautiful animation that is similar to CRED. Correct. CRED application, most Indians would know it is used for paying the credit card bills. So it is not that easy for even front-end developer to build that kind of a beautiful UI, animations, etc. Correct. So gradually, after a point, every product, whichever becomes it, needs specialist and not generalist. So whoever generalist, they become absolute after a period of time. So now, if you are 8 to 9 year full stack developer and just think, are you being a specialist or a generalist? So this is a time where you become an architect. 9, 10, 11, 12 years is a high time where person becomes architect. Architect cannot be made. Just because you're architect, people will not respect you. They start respecting you only if you give a valuable feedback for the product. Correct. When you will be able to give valuable feedback, when you have an in-depth knowledge of something. So most this mediocre full stack developers or situational full stack developers, they either become one tech, like either they have a good knowledge on front end or back end. Sometimes due to problems they face, they will not become specialist in either of. They are just generalists. Even if you go to an intern now and see how Google search is working, he has a opinion. They have opinion. They say Google search is not working as expected. They can do this, they can do that. Correct. So journalists have no value after a point of time. So this is high time. Just evaluate, are you being a generalist or a specialist? If you are being a generalist full stack developer, it's high time to evaluate and switch to one stack where you can become a specialist. Okay. Now let's go to the last point. See, this has become, I can't call it scam. Maybe that will create a problem, but there has been a lot of things that are happening with the freshers with this full stack development. In fact, I have interviewed developers or this fresher developer who come out of this premium institutes. I can't take a name because it will create a problem to him, but I have interviewed them. They undergo 4 to 5 months training to become a full stack developer. I wonder how a fresher has a value of a full stack developer. Correct? Obviously, they teach you how to build a UI, how to build a APIs for that, etc. But it is too short time to learn both front end and back end because they both have their own lot of specialities. Correct? So people learn something to a basic level, both front end and the back end. Okay, and they apply for the interviews. And most companies take the interview because they want either front end or back end, and they have a specific interviews just for the front end or just for the back end. And if you perform well, then they'll hire you. If you are not performing, they'll not hire. Fresher full stack developer openings are very, very few. If I run a company, I'm never going to hire a fresher full stack developer. Okay, because you haven't learned anything in the industry how it works, and now you already call yourself a full stack. No. So you either master one tech properly, come inside, and you have a anticipation, or you want to learn the other tech, then get a mastery over both. That is fine. But just by being a fresher, you call yourself a full stack developer. That is an absolute waste. So if you're a fresher who has applied for a company, who is going to apply for a course or already in a course and not paid the fees, just at least compare the difference. So how much you are paying for the full stack developer course, how much you would pay individual, like front end and the back end. Okay, if you think that's a significant difference and you are somebody who's inclined to one, like either back end or front end, then it's high time to rethink and aspire for any one of these tech than becoming a full stack. Okay, just think yourself, talk to your seniors, whoever took this full stack developer course, did they get the full stack developer job or not? Okay, so by that itself you'll get to know this is a scam running just with the name of full stack development, or really full stack developer as a fresher is worth or not. Okay, so just to conclude, these are the results that I think, which because of which the full stack development is slowly coming to an end. A lot of opportunities which were existed before in the premium companies no longer exist. So now only the startups still continue to dominate in the full stack developer openings. I don't know how long that is going to be there. Even startups may reduce the number of openings of full stack developer when they reach a decent scale. They also need a specialist and not the generalist. Okay, so whatever this full stack development trend started on 7 8 years back, it is slowly declining, and in the near future it might reduce further. So if you're a full stack developer who is become a journalist and a mediocre full stack developer, it is high time to reevaluate. Is it good career to take or not? Okay. But if you are a full stack developer who is constantly learning in both the fields, like you have a mastery on the back end, you are also having the mastery over the front end. Obviously, you can continue to be full stack developer, or you can pick one skill and parallel you can practice the other one. This is good. But most developers out there, and there are the most projects out there, which has become practically impossible to learn both the skills and have equal amount of knowledge on both front end and the back end. So if you are somebody who's thinking to become a full stack developer, I would advise please reevaluate, see the pros and cons, and then only learn. Don't become a full stack developer or call yourself a full stack developer because everybody else are calling. Okay, so that's all for the video. If you like the video, please like the video on YouTube. Whatever the comment, whatever you think, whatever, this is what my analysis after talking to a lot of people over LinkedIn and talking to my ex-colleagues and analyzing on the web. So this might be not applicable for all. If you think that otherwise, please mention that in the comment section. Okay, and so that's all about this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are somebody, whatever the content that I explained in this video or something with my analysis and after talking to a lot of people, if you think it is otherwise, not like how I'm speaking, please mention that in comment section. Let us see. Let's open for the debate. I'll be always open for the constructive criticism. And if you're not subscribed to Uncommon Keys, please subscribe. It is just I'm trying to give a thought process so that everybody thinks in this direction, and whatever is good for the industry, people will definitely choose that. Okay. And if you're not followed me on Medium, link is in the description. Please follow me. I'll write a lot about interview preparation, how to crack the interviews, and you can follow me on Medium. A lot of my code, whatever I explain in different videos, is present in the my GitHub repository. I'll try to link my GitHub repository also in the description. Please start my GitHub repository. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in next video.